So a lot's changed in the last 15 years, and especially for creators of media and the arts. And I do want to say that what I'm about to talk about does apply to all the arts, but I'm going to focus specifically on cartoonists because, after all, that's what I am. So I'm going to throw the word comics around a lot. I want to define it real quick. It refers to the medium itself, which includes graphic novels, comic books, and manga, just as painting refers to watercolors, oils, and acrylics, okay? Let's agree upon a conceit. Comics are still widely misunderstood by the general public, and I know all of you good-hearted people here know and love what comics are, but I still hear from educators that, oh, comics are great because they help kids graduate to real books. Or you watch the news and you see Brian Williams using 1960s Batman language like, bam, pow, comics aren't for kids anymore, which doesn't really help matters. Cartoonists aren't helping matters when they get involved in comics in order to have a movie made. As if a movie is the final justification of a comics project. I personally would rather read a good comic than watch a great movie any day of the week. I make comics for comics' sake. So we have a problem. We have to let people know what comics are and why they're so great. Like, for instance, they could do things like ambiguous sequencing, where you can read the same page multiple ways, and it's up to the reader to decide which is the right way, so the reader is a participant in the unfolding of the comic's narrative. Films can't do that. Comics evokes a world of the five senses and emotions just with lines and colors. It's kind of like magic, how you can show somebody being embarrassed just by changing the background color, or evoking a full world of sound with just font, line, and color choices. There's no sound in comics, it's just images, but it makes a real world. Comics can be about anything. If you go to your local library or bookstore and look around, think of your favorite genre, there's a corresponding comic there. Comics is much more than just fantasy and superheroes, and the public needs to be made aware of that. So let's go to conceit number 2 that we can agree upon. It's never been easier to get in touch with your favorite artist or creator, either through social media or email or even through the creator's website. A lot of creators publish their work online. One click and you're in touch with your favorite creator. It's an amazing time we live in. And if you want to learn how to be that kind of creator, that's never been easier because a lot of people stream their workday online through video streaming services. They post tutorials online. There's even things like the schoolism.com website where you can take online comics classes from working professionals. The world will truly never be the same. It's an amazing time that we live in, but there's still a problem. If the internet is the world brain, you have to ask the right question to get access to the information you want. Just walking up to Google and saying, how do I become a comics artist? That doesn't work yet. So how do we fix that? How do we address that problem and make people aware of the right questions? Well, a lot of cartoonists say this to me, and I think that this is a little misguided, if not outright myopic, because what good does it do to make great comics if nobody knows that they're there? If people don't even know how to find them? The answer, as I see it, runs as follows. And perhaps we shouldn't be quite this aggressive, but I do think we should have this sense of urgency and gusto in bringing comics to the public, making them aware that they're still here and that they're good for you to read. How do you do that? Well, here's an answer I found, is in teaching. I teach in a variety of comics workshops and full-on classes, multi-week sessions, around the state and beyond. And in my classes, my students get to get their hands dirty in the process of making comics, which fosters a deeper appreciation for what comics are and makes them more interested in the medium itself. There's more to this too. I mean, the kids, they're hungry for this stuff when you put it in front of them. Parents often participate, which is a dynamite opportunity for an artist to explain to the parent why it's good for their kid to read comics, and maybe why the parents too should be reading comics. But you don't have to teach if you don't want to. You could also start a public event. And this is easier than it sounds. All you have to do is gather up a bunch of your friends, fellow cartoonists or artists, and put on a spectacle, put on an art rock concert, a low-risk activity for the public to engage with what you're doing and watch the process unfold, which makes them appreciate it more. Now, historically, the Comic-Cons have been the place for this kind of stuff to happen, but there's a problem with that. The traditional Comic-Con is in a big gray box with no natural light, and what's more, it's not really about comics anymore. Comic-Cons are more about pop culture and television and movies. So to answer that problem, I became the co-organizer of the Kids Read Comics event, and it's coming up this June. It's a 2-day event, free to the public, where all day long we have hands-on workshops, interactive demonstrations, and a chance for the public to engage with local creators to learn more about making comics. I also serve as the advisor for the Ann Arbor Comic Artist Forum, which is a free monthly event where we bring in guest speakers every month to do a comics presentation, and then the public can just have a free drawing time where they get to interact with these cartoonists and learn more about what it takes to be a good comic storyteller. What good does this do? What does this accomplish? Well, besides the fact that it fosters a deeper appreciation of the medium, as I said, this offers a rich experience that the internet just cannot provide, one-on-one engagement. So how do you get involved? Cartoonists, contact these people I mentioned and have a plan for when you contact them. Don't just say, I want to lead a comics workshop at your library. Really have a vision for what you want. Librarians and educators go to local events, and the cartoonists who are engaging and are easy to talk to, they're probably good presenters. So I want you two groups to get together, make more comics events. Thank you for your time, and okay, bye.